My next guest has made headlines after revealing that an obsession with healthy eating and following fad diets led to her becoming anorexic. Eve Simmons has since written a book to help others avoid falling into that same trap. She joins me now. I know you've done this with Laura Dennison.
I have.
How to feel the fear and eat it anyway.
Yes.
It is, thank goodness, about time too.
Oh, thank you, Lorraine.
It's come from personal experience. What do you want anybody that's reading this to come away knowing?
I want people to read it and really feel a relief. I want them to just eat and enjoy what they're eating, whatever it is they're eating, whether it's a croissant or a baguette or a delicious plate of macaroni cheese or a nice, beautiful, colourful salad. I just want everyone to eat what they want and stop worrying about it. I think we put so much emphasis on what we eat. We intellectualise everything, and actually, it's so unnecessary.
Because our bodies are amazing.
Yes.
They are amazing, and we have to be awful careful. I mean, I hate the word diet. I hate faddy diets. They're stupid. They don't work. You end up putting on more weight than anything. And they play, they mess your head. They do, don't you? I mean, you've been there. You know what that's like.
Yeah, completely. I mean, well, for me, it happened very quickly. I had a very peaceful relationship with food for most of my life. And then suddenly I went on my first diet, and within about 6 months, I'd lost about 20% of my body weight very quickly. And I was completely messed up about food.
We can see you there, looking very thin. We're not going to show pictures of you at your absolute thinnest.
Yeah.
Because I think that's damaging. It's damaging for other people watching as well, isn't it?
Completely, yeah. And that's what all the guidelines say. And actually, I don't think that it's necessary. You know, my story is what it is, and you don't need to see a picture of somebody looking very skeletal to understand what anorexia is.
And that can actually sometimes trigger other people as well, which I didn't really realise, to be honest, but makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, eating disorders are very strange in a way because there's a lot of competition involved. And so you never know what people are going to look at to be goals, that they might strive to look a certain way. So we have to be very careful with that.
And also now, we were always bombarded, and over the years, women have always, particularly women, but now with social media, it's almost out of control.
It's everywhere.
And everybody can set themselves up as an expert, as a guru and all of that. And that's really worrying, isn't it?
Completely. Well, actually, the only professionals that are qualified to work with dietetics on the NHS are dieticians.
Right.
And obviously there are nutritionists and there's registered nutritionists, but dietitian is sort of the gold standard. And I think there's a whole host of other people that operate within those gaps. And really, I mean, I could take a test on Google and within about 10 minutes, I've got a certificate and I'm a nutritionist.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I think people don't really understand that.
No, they absolutely don't. You do this other thing, which is called not plant-based.
Yes.
Tell me about that and how that's been working.
So I run that website with, again, with my co-author, Laura Dennison, and it's a nutrition myth-busting food celebration website, and we enlist dietitians and also just general sort of food heroes to interview them. And the idea is just to celebrate all food and say, you know, all food is delicious. Food is one of the very rare pleasures in life which you should enjoy, and it's designed to be enjoyed. And actually, all of this intellectualization of food and eating, all it does is provide more confusion, make people have completely no clue what to eat. So they throw it all out of the window, and then, you know, either go and gorge on a plate of biscuits or don't eat much at all. And
so it's about balance, isn't it? I mean, we've been saying this for years on this show. We've been saying this for years. It's about balance, and it's about not getting obsessed, and it's about not denying yourself things.
Completely. And it's such a boring message, and that's why it's not really marketed and it's not really out there, because actually it's not sexy to say, well, just eat what you want, but in moderation and balance. You know, that doesn't make headlines, does it?
It's what you said, OK, you're not going to eat a plate of biscuits 4 times a day, every single day. That would be ridiculous.
And most people that do that feel a bit sick after the 4th day.
Indeed, it's
and might want a salad.
But at the same time, if you say to yourself, I can't have a biscuit, what do you want?
A
biscuit, and it's right there in the front of your forehead. It's just
sort of
crazy.
hovering somewhere. There.
So it's about, this really is about enjoying food and being sensible, but it's also funny.
Oh, thanks.
Because you need.
I'm glad that someone else thinks I'm funny.
Do you know what I mean? Because you need that sense of humour, don't you?
Completely.
You definitely need to have a sense of humour. You really do. Is there one piece of advice you would give to anybody watching this? Because you know it's January, and you know that everybody's going, I'm going to go on a diet, which is the stupidest thing you can ever do. What would you say?
I would say check in with yourself about what it is that's fueling you to go on that diet. Do you really feel that you're unhappy with the way that you look? And if so, is it really about the way that you look, or is it maybe about something you're feeling internally, emotionally? Because actually, is it that important? And is it don't risk ruining your relationship with food for quite possibly the rest of your life,
Yeah.
it's just not worth it. And how much of your headspace is it taking up? And if it's ruining your days or making your days a bit more complicated, then don't bother.
Exactly. Exactly. Couldn't have put it better myself. Honestly, Eve, thank you so much. How to Feel the Fear, Anita Anyway, is out now.
Yeah.
And
it's out on Thursday.
On Thursday. And people, not plant-based.
Notplantbased.com. Yeah.
Right.
And we're at notplantbased on Twitter and Instagram if anyone wants to check us out.
Fantastic. Thank you. A
Thank
joy
you.
to talk to you. Somebody that loves food and says it's okay,
Yeah.
it's all right, it's all right. All things in moderation.